Hello and welcome, folks. It's Chris here, otherwise known online as the True Mr. Six, and I'm back again today to give you the comic book lore lowdown on yet another character featured in the game Marvel Snap. Our hero today has barely been on the scene, both in the comics and in Marvel Snap. She introduces a unique and interesting mechanic to the game, and the community is only just getting their bearings with this character. And while some early assessments of the card have found her to be a little awkward to play, she's got an intriguing premise that bears more than a few moments consideration. A bit polarizing she may be, but with a bit more gameplay exposure, she may just find her space in the meta. I am, of course, going to be taking a closer look today at the origins of Snowguard. So, who is she? Well, Snowguard is a pretty fresh and new character by comic book standards. She was created by the writer Jim Zub and first appeared in Champions issue 19 back in 2016. The Champions are a youth-led spin-off team from the Avengers. You see, there was a second superhero civil war. That's right, folks. In the comic book continuity, there was a second one, and this time around, it was a Barney between Iron Man and Captain Marvel. They disagreed over the ethics and morality of using precognitive powers to preemptively fight crime and prevent disasters. And, well, the disagreement resulted in a fair few serious injuries and deaths in the superhero community. Marvel superheroes, you see, they just love to solve things with their fists and lethal death rays, or, in this specific instance, with expertly shot arrows to the forehead. Go ahead and give it a read for more on that, but take it from me, it's largely accepted to be a bit of a duff storyline, to be honest. Anyway, following these events, Miss Marvel, Spider-Man, the Miles Morales version of the character, and Nova, they became pretty disillusioned with adult superheroic teams after witnessing some of the more questionable behaviour of the supposed more mature and experienced superheroes. And they decided to break away and form their own group, the Champions, with an ethos that encouraged heroes to do more than just fighting, but to support communities, to support those in need, and, in their own words, to never punch down. It was while the Champions were on a mission in Canada to investigate a damaged climate change monitoring beacon that they discovered a secret base that belonged to the Master of the World, a bad news dude who just loves to make nefarious plots to take over the world, and who also took a pretty humble approach in choosing a name for his villainous alter ego. He's a 40,000-year-old caveman who wants to conquer the world, you know. Pretty standard for Marvel Comics. So, he was up to no good in his secret Canadian base. Kinda. He was doing good things, but in a bad way for bad reasons. It was here the Champions found a teenager by the name of Amka Aliak, imbued with the Inuk spirit Sylar and held in captivity by the Master of the World. As a side note, I feel pretty ridiculous saying the Master of the World over and over. It's a really dumb villain name, even by comic book standards, and so from here on in, I shall refer to him as just the Master. Amka was a local Inuk teenager who had hopped the fence to this secret base to take a look around in the mysterious facility that had popped up seemingly overnight on their lands. While snooping around, she found Sylar, a mystical force described as the Soul of the North, and she was being used by the Master as a magical battery to power his facility and its machines. In an attempt to free the spirit, Amka was injured. Sylar used her powers to heal Amka, but in the process also left a part of her mystical energy within Amka. It was at this moment Snowguard was born, because, if you hadn't figured it out yet, Amka became Snowguard. Anywho, the Champions, with the help of the Canadian super team Alpha Flight, defeated the Master, and the Champions offered Snowguard a place within their team, where she could train and develop and use her powers to help the world. She's been with the team, on and off now, ever since. Oh, those powers, I forgot to mention what they were. So, Snowguard's abilities are magical in nature and allow her to tap into the Spirit of the North, Sylar's mystical power. With this, she can harness the energies of the Aurora Borealis to generate and control light and auras to create images and effective holograms. She can also shapeshift into animals, fully or partially, and this is the primary set of powers Snowguard uses as part of the team. She can take on powerful animal traits and mix them into kind of hybrid shapeshifts, which is most commonly seen when she uses bird wings to fly while in her human form. When she adopts animal forms or traits, she receives that relative ability, such as the relative level of strength or speed from the animal whose trait she has adopted. Broadly speaking, Snowguard adopts animal traits and forms associated with the Arctic North, such as wolves, bears, Arctic hares, owls, and hawks, which gives her a wide range of contributions she can make to the Champions team. So, how does she play? Snowguard is a 1-cost, 2-power card whose game text reads, "While in your hand, this transforms each turn into a hawk or a bear." The hawk version of Snowguard reads, "On reveal, ignore all location abilities next turn." And the bear version of Snowguard reads, "On reveal, trigger the effects of this location." There is certainly an element of Snowguard's comic book lore influencing the in-game effect of the character, as she shapeshifts into different animals. What kind of escapes me is how the specific effects relate to the relative traits and attributes of the animals she shapeshifts into. Like, what's a hawk got to do with ignoring locations, or a bear with triggering things twice? There are certainly key use cases in which the ignoring or activating of locations effects can be beneficial to you as the player or detrimental to your opponent. You could, for example, use the bear to give a quick hand boost at Nova Roma, or do a cheeky switcheroo of stats with a second blast of the peak. Maybe you'd like loads of extra squirrels from Central Park, I don't know. Maybe you could drop a well-timed hawk to switch off camouflage before your opponent takes advantage with their on-reveal strategy. Or open up Luke's bar to sneak in some cards. Keep it 983 for Marvel Snap content, and if you're interested in more nerdy comic book action figure related content about toys and games, check out my own channel, Mod Extra Games and Collectibles, linked in the description below. Thanks for watching, folks, and have yourselves a great day. See you later.